Cecil Lee Rodriguez is a dance educator, entrepreneur, having co founded a dance academy, and a strong socio political activist. In this conversation, Evescape, Goa's first women media network, focuses on her recent campaign for the mental well being of educators, voicing concerns regarding the state of public education in Goa, her fearless civic activism, from environmental destruction to exposing infrastructure failures in the state.
Welcome to Evescape.
Thank you.
Okay, so why we wanted to meet you regarding this your latest campaign on the mental health of teachers. That is which is something unique, and we have not seen many people doing or taking up issues that affect women, especially the
Teachers, yeah.
teachers community. And I think they form a vital part of our system,
Yes.
our society, and I think it's time we lay focus on such aspects. So
Right.
what made you do all this, and what is it all about? Can you just explain to us the entire movement that you're leading?
Okay, if you see that, right from when no schools in April, we had raised a very high campaign because we didn't want schools in April because we believe that, the teachers are stressed out also. They need to complete their, corrections. They need to plan for the next academic year, and everything was hastily done to introduce NEP. So that's when the campaign that started in 2025, and I realized that today when I go to different schools, I'm a dance educator, and when I move around from North Goa to South Goa, I have every teacher complain and grumble about how the center is just imposing things but not giving proper training to the teachers. The transition is not happening very smoothly.
Okay.
Teachers, students, like if you till now, children don't have books. Teachers are just teaching. How are they supposed to grasp when things are not organized? So teachers are put under a lot of pressure, and because they're government aided schools, they do not have a voice to speak up or protest or stand up. And we've noticed with no schools in April, though there's like a Goa Headmasters Association, and you see that in spite of they putting their points across, the director of education doesn't listen, the education minister doesn't listen. So I feel that our teachers are undergoing a lot of stress. And lately the campaign actually just started as something I wanted to address out, what is happening to teachers. It's salary, job security. Teachers are not happy teaching today. They're just waiting to retire. This was never the case when we were in school, because teachers used to enjoy, they had passion to teach, they were taking care of the children.
It's such a noble profession.
Yes, it is. No doubt, any teacher, this is our fundamental.
Correct.
This is where right from nursery that the teacher starts and the child goes up till the college level.
Foundation for the
foundation
citizenry.
starts there. So if the teachers are mentally stressed, how will they able to give our children the right education of like happiness in studying something what the teachers are passionate about to teach? Teachers are not happy themselves. Salaries are not being paid on time. They are made to do election duties. They are made to do census duties and directly join school. Lecture-based teachers have not been paid for more than 2 years, 3 years. So those who are the earning member of the house and who are family people, how are they supposed to take care? So if you see how the things are being planned, there's no one listening to them. So and that's how I realized, I said it's time for me to make a video for the teachers and let me be the voice for them. And there are a lot of issues that I'm collecting, but step by step I want to take it. And if you see that video connected, because they started sharing it, and more than 1 lakh views have already done, more than 1,000 shares have already gone through, because it is something that everyone is facing.
And they found a voice in you,
Yes.
And even before you started this campaign, I've seen you going out and talking about public schools, the state of public schools, how they have closed or how bad is the infrastructure. So tell us something about that also.
We've realized that education is given least importance to. Healthcare is given least importance. Sports is given least. Performing arts is least given importance to. So this is something that made me who I am. And for me, the children of today have to be given the exposure and change of education where they are less stressed, but they are given a skill set where they can survive in today's world.
Correct.
Last time we used to mug up and this was it, this was the BCom, this was BSc. But today children have a vast amount of opportunity to put forth and to even, to plan themselves out. So something like this is important that we plan it out, and seeing the present situation, I'm just kind of worried about.
So I remember one school that you had highlighted the poor infrastructure there. I think the leaking.
Talegaon, yes.
Yeah, last year I believe it was. So just before the school could start. So has that been put in place now?
Like if you see, see all the planning and execution, I don't know how does the government plan, but when you're doing renovation,
Correct.
why do you wait till the mid of May to give approvals for a roofing?
Very ridiculous. Because the academic year is going just about to start.
That is
one thing.
Rains are
correct.
unpredictable.
Correct.
It can rain anytime. The
Correct.
heat has gone.
Correct.
So why is the government and PWD department who sanctions all this do not think? By the time they gave the sanction was 15, they removed it out. 20th May started raining. So everything is exposed off. And the I don't know should I say funny or stupid part is they ran out of the puff sheets.
Oh.
Puff sheets are the ones that have like a vacuum so that even if it rains or anything falls, it doesn't have too much of noise when the children are studying and not too hot. So they ran out of it. So that contractor put normal sheets. And then again, after a few months, after the rains got over, put the ones with the puff sheets. So who's going to bear the cost of that expense? Where are the sheets going to be used? So is it on our public funds that, okay, sanction this and there's no accountability of what? There's no one questioning.
There's no accountability.
There's still date. Everyone is suffering. Where is the accountability?
Cecil, we have known you as a very fearless activist, okay? You have been taking up various issues across Goa. But the first campaign, if I remember, is the Rosto campaign, and I want you to talk about it because the situation is still the same when it comes to the Goa's road, Although politicians, when I ask them, they keep telling me, no, but Goa's roads are much better than ours. But we won't compare our state to some other state, because it's a small state, it can be managed properly with proper roads. So that campaign, I think, still holds water. So can you please explain to us, why did you start and what made you start that campaign?
I think so. If you see, I was one of the citizens who think of like a Mata Kityak Podla attitude once upon a time. But there reaches a trigger point in everyone's life where you say, enough is enough.
Right.
And then you say, now this is what I need to do. And it happened so that I was traveling from Talegaon to Benawali for a Konkani drama rehearsals. And though that time in 2018, the roads were horrible. And my suspensions of my car went off, the car was in terrible condition, and it so happened was on my birthday I had to pay 15,000 rupees. The bill came to me, and on my birthday I had to shell out. So that frustration which I had, I said I will put this out, and because of the
middle class, hard earned money. I'm a
single mom. So every rupee counts and every saving counts. So when I was doing this, Mariano Fernandez, who is the producer of the theatre, encouraged me to sing, which I'm not a singer. I come from the dance kind of performing arts. And he said, Cecil, I know you can do it, you do it. So I started rehearsing. Because of that, I got an encouragement. I said, you know what, I'm going to write a song. And just traveling back to forth, I started thinking of the wordings of the song. I said, how can I make it go how can it be catchy and what tune? I said, I can't think of any tune. I said, I'll use the Bebdo song and I'll turn it into Rosto. So I reached home after the show, say around 11 o'clock in the night. After Margaon show it was, we finished, and I reached in Talegaon. Till 4 o'clock in the morning, I was writing simple lyrics. Because my Konkani, though I'm a Goan, I'm not raised up, speaking in Konkani, but I can converse with any auntie, granny. But I need people around me to talk. So I reached out to my friends, one was a creative director and one who was a music composer. So both of them liked my concept, though the video director was not a go, and he said, "So can you translate it to me, and then I'll format it." So you won't believe it. That whole production of that first Rasta song came at zero expense.
Okay.
Because everyone liked the concept. Everyone said, "Cecil would like to collaborate, and let's put this out there." And to my good luck, one day before the shoot, it rained
Okay.
heavily. So after we did the recce, it was pretty dry.
Okay.
But that night it rained, and that's why you see all the songs were filled with water, and it was a major hit. Like it went a major hit because one clipping of my friends sitting down at the portal outside the bus stand went viral because one fellow from the bus clicked it out and put it out. It went viral, and even NDTV picked it up and showed clippings about it, and people raising issues all across the country. And after that song, in 2019, again I had that put out. Then I started the speed breaker painting. Not everyone knows, but I am also a victim of speed breaker, and I have a metal plate in my back, and I still perform and I still do everything. But at my own, I know my body how much it can take, and I don't push. Even when I was on the dance reality show, I had to wear a belt because my back had given up. That's how it all went in. And then from there, the speed breaker painting that I did. Painted more than 300 speed breakers in less than 3 months. If pandemic didn't happen,
It would have been
I would have been at it. And I started off with my constituency, that's Talegaon. I said, 10,000 I will buy my spray paints and I will start. And then people just started saying, "Cecil, come to my constituency." I said, "See, I do not have the finances. You tell me how many, this much it costs for one speed breaker. I'll purchase and I'll come with it. And I'll come with my friends who would like, and which day I have to check everyone's availability." And that's how we went. Day after day after day after day. 100 speed breaker was in the Kandoli stretch, Kandoli to Kalagut stretch. And Walter Lobo also was there with me. So imagine, as a woman, going down on the ground level to make an impact. And out of all those, 90% of my speed breakers got painted by the panchayat. Because I was just not tagging it. I was doing hashtag Rasta Goa. So that became my brand. So people who didn't see it, "Are Cecil Paung laenga?" And people who saw it, "Are Cecil Paung laenga?" So I was the talk of town. Unknowingly, that speed breaker would have a branding. So yeah, I think so. When you do something because you're frustrated.
No, it has touched an emotional part with so many Goans, and even outside, as you said, rightly said.
We had put a proposal also with the PWD minister back in the day. It was CM itself. We had said that, why don't you have a committee of people who are retired judges, people who are architects, people who understand roads, people who are contractors. Get us all together, get public who are willing to contribute time, meet once a month, and let's plan ahead. Goa is just a dot on the map.
So Cecil, we spoke about your activism, but there is another side to that activism. That is, तुझे cases file झाल्या, तू कितल्या police station भितर गेल्या, बाहेर गेल्या, बाहेर आयल्या. So how does it impact you, your mental state, your family? You have a mother who you are looking after at this point of time. You with a son and raising your child as a single mother. So I'm sure this is impacting your life. So how bad is the situation, or how well are you tackling it? That is what I want to ask.
I think so. When I first started it out during the pandemic in like 2020, during the farmers issue, when the Montserrat family, the panchayat, took in 8 fields for a panchayat girl. And that was my first detainment by the police. And 9 hours we were at the police station. I still remember the voice note my son sent me. He must have been 7, 8. He just said, "Mama, stop everything. I don't want you to go to jail. I want you, please come back home." And he sounded in such distress that when I heard it at the police station, I broke down crying. Till now, if I think about it, it gets me, because it's not easy as a single mom to leave your family and be on the street. But my son has seen, even during the 19th December when the Prime Minister was coming to the state, how we were detained. My son was separated from me. I was taken to Ponda police station, and he was shown crying bitterly. That time he was like 1 year older, like 9 years old.
Okay.
So that was the thing that it hurts, you know, because I was crying throughout when I was going to Ponda, like, you know, what the hell, I started shouting at my friend, like, you know, Talula, please take care of him, like, you know, and be with him, like. So it hurts, but I have to look at the bigger picture. If I've stepped into something where I want a change and I want to make a difference, it comes with sacrifices. And that time my dad was alive, so he was handling my son and everything, you know. It's not easy. Like till now, my mother says, "Sod sagle." You know, people are not bothered about you, what you do. Only few people, you know, will vote for you, and the sincere ones who want a change. And you're doing your whole house. You're never at home. My mom till tells her, "Te garanuts na, bayruts ha help korpak loka." So it is something that we need to, like, as single moms or anyone, if you're passionate about something, you got to voice it out and fight it out. Because I told my mom, and now my son is older, he understands the whole thing. He's like, "Son, what should I do? Should I do these things? If I have an opportunity to stand for the coming election, should I stand or should I like take a back step because it's your main exam also?" Like, "Mama, you've been doing it like for such a long time. Do it. Like, you know, don't give up because your intentions are right. You are not somebody who's just doing it for the heck of it. You sincerely do it." And sometimes he comes with me, takes videos, like, you know, with me when I'm talking so that I can edit it, and helps me now with editing and all. So he is there with me. So he understands the importance. And I believe that when you are committed to something, you give your 100% from it by not looking what will happen. Not everyone appreciates. Those who
That is right.
those who find that, "Arey, yeah, Cecil is talking because I am also affected," I connect with them.
Yeah, correct.
Other some people in the ruling party say, "Beste bobad mat." I'm not stupid. I'm educated. My father has raised me up in the right way to see what is wrong and what is right. And I am not blinded. I cannot follow just nonsense. I have to follow. And even the detainment, these criminal cases and all, I've got 5 criminal cases. One just got over. If we talk about it, then they might go to High Court, the Panchayat of Talegaon. So I am not scared, and this is something that we have to, when you're stepping into a furnace like this, you are going to catch fire. It's how you put your fire off your body and start moving ahead. It is. And also I'd like to tell people that if you're detained, you don't have to worry because the police are following the orders of what they are told to do. But when you go to the police station, they take care of you. They make sure that you have something to eat, you have food, you're not hit, you're not troubled. That is detainment. Not if you do a criminal crime. If you're detained as a protester for a cause, they take care of you. And so public, do not fear and do something that you can contribute to Goa. Don't simply say, "Ami Goinkar pon dakopak da." Kun tumi gara boson WhatsApp ani social media cher yola commenting. We need ground.
We need people on.
We need people on ground who voice up, who are committed. And especially to the youth and everyone, you all should be coming down on ground level and voicing.
What do you think about this whole system? You have seen politics very closely. You have contested. You have been into a political party, so you are the best person to talk about this. You know, as a journalist, I can talk loads on this. But you, in your experience, what do you think? Are the politicians to be blamed or are the voters to be blamed? Let us get it straight.
See, every elections, people have the right to bring about a change. And it's the people that have the power to bring about a change. But what happens is if the people are bribed, what happens when the people are like made to, you know, are forced to do something which is not right. Like, say that I've given you a government job, you have to support me. I've given you some money to build up your house, or you've done an illegal construction somewhere. I've given you full-fledged kind of, you know, support. So that's what they do. They allow you to do what you want. When you talk against them, that's them become breaking down everything that you put your foot up. So there is a lot of fear in the constituency. And I believe that people are frustrated because my vote share, people didn't like me. My vote share should have gone down every election, but my vote share has only gone high. It is slow and steady. See, I am not, my father was not a politician, so no one knows my backstory. I was not doing youth politics when I was young. I got in the thing at the age of 34. Now I'm 44. 10 years of decade. But I just didn't start and leave it there. I have been constantly on ground, not only in Talegaon but all over Goa. You know, if I see a situation, I take out my phone wherever it may be and I go at it. Like, I don't care what is happening, but I just go at it because I want to show it so that things get better for us.
So, what do you think? Because you have been talking, you have been really working with people, women like you, who are leaders in their own right, you know. So, do you think that social activism can be converted into social activism can be converted into political activism, or it can be a platform for women to take up political positions?
I feel more than that, it is doing social work, raising up the issues what people are facing, being that ground leader that is needed to be done.
See, politics is also you know,
Exactly.
it's anyway social
And
work.
for a woman, she holds different job profiles.
Correct.
That is a mother.
Multitasking, yeah.
Sometimes she's a working person. Like that is what I'm doing. I have to do 10 things. I don't have a
Multitasking.
golden spoon and give 24/7 right now in politics. Some people say, "Oh, tu bisti podna." I'm saying I'm trying to balance work. I'm trying to balance this. But I feel that there are a lot of women who really want to do good, but because of their spouses or their fathers, heading it, they don't have the utmost say in this thing because it's governed by them, it's pushed by them. Sometimes you can see the husband sitting in meetings.
The patriarchal society.
Yes, when searching for
dominates.
sarpanch, when it's supposed to be a woman,
Correct.
you'll see some of the husbands sitting. Why he's needed? He's not elected there. He should not be there. But this is how permission is beginning, and 33 is just a number that is being put out there. Certain countries even don't have that. It is equal rights. They can be majority. And you see today, most of our voters who are there in majority, women are the most number voters compared to the men voters. So when women voters are more, that means women's safety has to be taken into consideration. Child support has to be taken into consideration. Having a child, being a girl child being raised up, that should be given importance. And we can see that we do not have that in the system. Today there are rape, crimes, everything that's happening, molestation. Today every girl, even today we are all a ladies gang here, all of us have witnessed it.
Yes.
And recently an 85-year-old senior citizen was molested. I mean, my God. And the national news was a 13-year-old girl gang raped by 30 men shifted into 5 different hotels. Today it's so easy to pick up a girl and do what you want with her. She's treated like trash. People are really not bothered, like how back in their day, Goans would come down and fight for Goa. How our ancestors fought to protect Goa and fight for Goa. That's why today Goa has its name because of the opinion poll. Whatever has happened, and people are benefiting now. Back in the day, people used to come down. Today, in spite of people, youngsters being on social media and all, everyone's scared. Parents are saying, "Baba, osna ka dinga? You for your government job, it will be a problem. If to go abroad will be a problem. You'll have police cases on you."
That's a big issue. Everybody wants a government job.
When I went campaigning, everyone saying, "Buy my Sheppo." A graduate, my God, it breaks my heart to tell this. A daughter who did graduation, the father tells me, even if she gets a sweeper's job, try and give. So I'm thinking, where is education when you want your daughter to do a sweeper's job? And it breaks my heart that it has reached to this
And
stage.
you know, Cecil, when I meet people like you, I feel very pained about the state of affairs for women in Goa. Be it leaders, be it social activists, or be it a normal
regular
woman.
women who do not even have toilets in their house and they have to defecate out.
I always feel we call ourselves a very modern state, a very progressive state, but our women do not have the voice. Before we end, I should be really grateful for you to have come all the way from there, from Talegaon. Of course, you had some work in Kumkolim, but then
I tried to do everything together. I couldn't say no to you, Rajeshri, because I know your magazine is for a cause. It's to empower women, and I think so. When powerful women come together, because when I met Rajeshri first time 10 years ago, I used to look up to Rajeshri and say, wow, she was a leader. She was a convener of a political party, and I was just a beginner. I was just a volunteer back then. And today she calling me. I feel privileged today that she's interviewing me of the work when I was just a junior back then, like a ground volunteer.
And I've
grown so much.
We wanted her to contest the election. We pushed her into an election.
Yeah, they threw me into the sea and said swim, and I didn't know hair or tail. But I appreciate that. I think so that was the ignite, and that has not
And
died down still.
okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajeshri.
And
Thank
we
you.
will hope we will meet again,
course.
and let's do a very
I cannot
Yes.
say no to you.
We
And you're
will-
doing an amazing job with all the youngsters.
yeah,
here.
and on behalf of Youthscape, I pray for good health, and also a lot of best wishes to your son,
Thank you.
and success in whatever you are doing. And our platform is always there for you.
Yes. So if there are more women who want to raise issues and reach out, I think so. Please reach out. You can put the contact numbers.
Yeah.
And be the voice.
Yeah.
Come out.